If you are looking for the best pocket camera in 2015, then look no further. This is the Sony RX100 Mark IV review. Last year in 2014, the RX100 Mark III came out and it took the crown for the best pocket camera. Well, now the Mark IV is out and it's even better, especially for video. So if you're a YouTuber and you're looking for a camera, this may very well be your best choice. Now, when something is considered the best of the category, it's usually not cheap, and it's no different with this camera. This camera is $948 at the time of the making of this video, so it's not cheap, it's pretty expensive, but it can be worth it for some people, and that's what this video is all about. We're gonna find out if this camera is worth it for you and whether or not you should buy it. Now let's start off with the main features of this camera. It has a new 20.1 megapixel 1-inch sensor, which allows it to shoot high quality images and 4K video. It has a built-in Zeiss lens with the focal length equivalent to 24 to 70 millimeters with an aperture of 1.8 at 24 millimeters and 2.8 at 70 millimeters. It has a super convenient and ultra crispy OLED viewfinder pop-up EVF. This electronic viewfinder comes in handy when you're in a bright situation and you want to look through that to see all the controls that you wouldn't normally be able to see on the LCD. Speaking of which, this has a 3-inch LCD screen on the back that flips up so you can be in ultra selfie mode for pictures or videos. It can shoot slow motion video at 960 frames per second. It has built-in Wi-Fi connectivity with NFC, so when you're out and about and you take a picture with this camera, you can quickly transfer it to your smartphone and upload it to Instagram to improve your subscribers' feed a little bit with some awesome looking pictures. In my humble opinion, this is the best point-and-shoot camera that you can buy right now, and we're gonna get into why I believe that. First of all is the size. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight, fits in the palm of my hand, and it fits into my pockets easily as long as I'm not wearing my weekend skinny jeans. And it has a built-in lens already, so it's not going to get any bigger. It's small, it's compact, the size is great. Now about it not getting any bigger in size is kind of a letdown. It doesn't have a hot shoe or a microphone input, so you're not going to be able to connect external microphones or anything like that on this camera. This is mainly just a point and shoot on-the-go camera that you can take places wherever it's an inconvenience to have something bigger or larger like a DSLR. This comes in handy and this beats out those cameras because it's small, lightweight, and it does the job. The articulating screen is one of the best features about this camera. You can flip it out and flip it all the way up. So if you're a YouTuber and you're looking for a camera to start off with, this will be perfect for you because you can flip that screen up and you can see yourself and you can position yourself however you want it and see how the video will look before you start taking the video. In this day and age, that's a pretty popular feature to have. The pop-up electronic viewfinder is awesome as well. It has a super high resolution when you're staring into it, and it doesn't add any other bulk to the camera. It goes right back into the side of the camera and you don't even know that it's there. And of course, the two new best features of this camera are the 4K video capabilities and the high frame rate video capabilities. The 4K video on this camera looks amazing if I do say so myself. The only problem I have with this 4K video is that it does limit you to 5 minutes of shooting. Well, why is that? Because of overheating. So it will automatically stop at 5 minutes when you're shooting 4K video and you have to start the video over again, to start the recording over again to continue on the video. So you're gonna have pauses. You can't shoot 4K videos longer than 5 minutes. Now there is a problem with that as well because when you're shooting 4K video and you shoot for the full 5 minutes and you go to shoot another 4K video, it's going to overheat. This happened to me. It overheated and it actually automatically shut itself down because it got way too hot. So the overheating problem is an issue, but if you're not looking to record more than 5 minutes of 4K video, or if you're just in an indoor setting most of the time and you're taking videos indoors where it's cool, I think you'll be able to get by with shooting multiple 5-minute 4K videos in a row because I was actually in my car in the summer outside, so I don't think it'll be too much of a problem if you're in a controlled environment or if you're just taking short, quick 4K videos. Shooting in 4K is so much fun with this camera. It takes great quality video in the 4K mode. It does have that limit, but it doesn't have a limit for 1080p. So if you're shooting in 1080p HD, you're gonna be able to record up to 29 minutes each time. The high frame rate or HFR feature is awesome as well. You can get some cool slow-mo video shots with this feature. Now it does shoot up to 960 frames per second, but I tell you what, if you do go up that high, you're gonna get less quality in the video. So the slower you go, the less quality of the video is. So even though it can go to 960 frames per second, I probably won't use that as much as the 240 frames per second because the 240 frames per second slow motion looks better than the 960 frames per second. But just having that option to record slow motion in the camera itself is a huge feature for me. Another highlight of this camera that I absolutely love is the autofocus. It autofocuses really fast and it's pretty accurate. It's probably the best autofocus camera that I've owned myself. The autofocus is great with pictures and videos. So this goes back to the YouTuber. If you are taking videos of yourself, the autofocus has worked extremely well for me when I'm taking videos of myself. Now, in order to shoot 4K video and slow motion video, you need certain types of SD cards, and this is the SD card that I use and I highly recommend if you're shooting 4K video. I use this for my GH4 and for this Sony RX100 Mark IV. So I will leave a link to this card in the description below. Now, a downside about this camera is that the battery life is not that great. If you're shooting 4K video and especially slow motion video, the battery is not going to last you very long at all. My recommendation would be to get an extra battery and then get a USB charger to take on the go, because this does charge through a USB cable. I love how easy to use and intuitive this camera seems to be. Right out of the box, it didn't seem very overwhelming or complicated. I got right in there and it was changing settings and I was able to start shooting manual 4K video pretty quickly without being too confused, and I think this will be very easy to use for beginners as well. So Sony does make very intuitive cameras. Also, I love the fact that it has an ND filter built into this camera, because when you're out in the sun, you need some type of ND filter if you want that bokeh look in the background. If you want that blurry background, you're gonna need neutral density filters, and this has one already built in, which is fantastic. I love that feature because I do plan on using this as a vlogging camera when I'm out and about, and I will be out in the sun, so that comes in handy as well. The zoom is very smooth, even though it does make a slight noise when you're in video and actually recording and zooming while you're recording. So just be aware of that and probably zoom in or zoom out before you start recording or in between recording so you don't get that sound. All right, so here's a side-by-side test of my three cameras that I have right now. My GH4 is what you're seeing right now. Now I'm going to switch over to the Sony RX100 Mark IV. That's what you're seeing right now. And then this is my iPhone 6, and that's what you're seeing right now. So it's just a side-by-side test comparison of all three of my cameras. Now, of course, the GH4 is the most expensive and the most professional quality camera that I have. And then this is the Sony RX100 Mark IV. And the Sony is actually on like automatic mode, so I didn't set any manual settings, unlike the GH4. But I did that on purpose because this is how most people are probably going to use this camera when they're shooting videos of themselves. And then, of course, this is my iPhone 6. And the iPhone 6 is probably the lowest quality of all the cameras. But this is a good test comparison of all three cameras that I wanted to do for you guys. So overall, I'm in love with this camera. The compact size, the dynamic range, the high resolution photos and videos, the quick autofocus, the built-in ND filters, the pop-up LCD, the EVF, everything about this camera. The lens is great. I love this camera. It is expensive, like I said before, it's $948, but it is worth it if you're looking for a small, lightweight camera that is able to shoot 4K video that you can take anywhere and also use as a secondary camera. So if you are a videographer or a YouTuber or just a photo enthusiast or video enthusiast, this is a must-have, I feel like, because I'm going to keep it myself. It's going to be my secondary camera, maybe for my B-roll, or when I take out and about, it will be my main vlogging camera, and I will add this to my gear that I take when I film weddings, so I will use this in professional work as well. So even with the small amount of downsides of this camera, you know, the short battery life, the 4K recording limit, the overheating issue, no ability to add a microphone, and the expensive price point, with all of that said, I still believe this is the best point and shoot camera and one of the best cameras that you can buy right now if you are going to be serious about video and you want to start your own YouTube channel. This will be a perfect camera for you. And at the end of the day, you want a camera that you're going to have with you at all times. That's going to be your most valuable camera, and this camera will be that camera for me. I will have this at all times, probably wherever I go. So I hope you enjoyed this video review of the Sony RX100 Mark IV camera. So leave a comment down below and let me know why you're getting this camera or why you're not getting this camera. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.